All right, welcome back to 11th Avenue. I am Jeremy Friedland.
I'm Bill Cutolo Jr.
Talking over you.
It's okay.
It's actually all the baseball fans out there. It's probably nobody. You could YouTube this, I bet. There's a funny clip out there you could find Yankees back in the day when they were on Channel 11, WPIX, with Phil Rizzuto and Bill White. They were in the booth. And Phil Rizzuto, Hall of Fame. Well, I think he's in the Hall of Fame. I think he's in the Hall of Fame just as an announcer. Always said funny things. And there was this real famous clip, you can look at it on YouTube, where he opens up the show. Hey, everybody, I'm Roy White, joined by Phil Rizzuto. Oh, wait a minute, I'm Phil Rizzuto.
Phil.
That's what that reminded me of. So that was a good way to open this clip, a real good blooper for everybody.
It's okay.
All right, so anyway, it's actually a good lighthearted video. Moving forward here on 11th Avenue, if you like the content, please hit subscribe and like this video. This is going to be a pretty lighthearted video. We're going to tell a lot of stories. I should say Bill is going to tell some stories. Some are going to be serious, some are not going to be so serious. So this is going to be one on the not so serious side, but kind of in a roundabout way, a mob-related, lighthearted story to where you got your family pet. I know I have dogs. Everybody has, not everybody, but a lot of people have dogs, cats, and they kind of become a part of the family, right?
Sure.
Now, everybody can relate to that. Now, what everybody can't relate to is getting their family pet given to them by a mafia hitman who has a lot of bodies on his record, and everybody knows about it. So why don't you talk to us about how you got this dog and whom I'm talking about?
Well, it's a funny story. And my dad had shared this story with me. We had a Rottweiler puppy that was brought into our family, and our dear friend, our neighbor at the time, was brought into our life. And the story goes, my dad was at a courthouse, I guess just doing what he had to do, had to appear. And he wound up bumping into Sammy Gravano. I believe in the elevator, as it was explained to me. And when they had gotten outside, they just were chit-chatting, laughing, having a good old time. And Sammy just happened to be holding a Rottweiler puppy. And my dad kept complimenting on how beautiful the puppy was. And so they would talk a little bit more, and then my dad would say again, what a beautiful pup. And finally, I think after maybe second or third time, Sammy turned around and said, Bill, if you like the dog that much, if you want the dog, you could have the dog. And my dad's response is like, no, Sammy, I couldn't. Chit-chatting a little bit more. Again, the comment came out, if you like the dog that much, please take the dog. And my dad, takes the dog and he's petting the dog or whatever or whatnot. And finally, my dad kept saying, no, I can't, Sammy. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. And finally, my dad gave in and said, yeah, no, I would love to have the puppy. And Sammy wound up giving the dog to my dad. And the dog wound up becoming part of the Cutolo family. And he lived, I believe, maybe 14, 15, maybe even 16. So he was around for a lot of good times, a lot of sad times. But having a pet in the family, it's like having another child. And that's the way my dad looked at this one particular dog.
What was the name of the dog?
My dad wound up naming the dog Sammy.
Sammy.
So,
you went for it. Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Sammy.
My dad fell in love with the dog. The dog fell in love with us, I guess.
Was it an aggressive dog?
No. Only on command.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But cute little story. I know everybody has their ways of thinking about certain people and certain things in this certain genre. But this is just a little lighthearted story.
I'm trying to picture this, like this scene, like these two heavy, high up mafia guys talking about this little dog. You know what I would love to know? What in the world was Sammy Gravano showing up to court with a little dog and like? Who? You know what? I got this court date. You know what? I'm gonna bring my puppy with me.
You know,
what was this little support animal? Like, who bring? What? I got to know what. Why do you show up to court with a dog?
You know, it's funny.
And then give it away.
Yeah, it's funny because I never really questioned my dad about it. It wasn't until Sammy came home. I'm living out here, and I reached out to him. We couldn't get together. Personal reasons on his end and mine at the time. But we wound up getting together, and he shared that story with me. And
so you didn't know until Sammy told. So this whole time you had a dog named Sammy that Sammy Gravano gave you pretty much, and you had no clue until all these years and crazy events later.
Well, I didn't know how funny this story was until Sammy told the story. So something that a lot of people don't know about Sammy, and maybe they are catching on to it now, is that Sammy is a funny guy. He really is a funny guy. Lethal back in the day, but funny, and he has a huge heart. So when we got together, I believe it's 3-4 times since I've been out here, and he's been home. He shared that story with me, and we had some laughs over it. And
you must have been in shock. Like, really?
Well, you know, it was nice to hear. It was nice to hear. It was a feel good story to something that's very heavy to me, losing my dad. So when Sammy shared that with me, it warmed my heart. I don't know what else to say, but it did.
All right, so thank you for sharing that. That is a pretty crazy story.
Funny.
Sammy the dog. So if you like that story and you want to keep hearing more, we're going to keep putting out continuous content.
Yes.
Please like and subscribe on YouTube and go to Instagram, 11th AVE Podcast.
Please.
And keep checking the channel and we keep putting out more and more and more.
Peace.